up, y'all? This is Common.
You got the rhythm right here.
DJ MV.
Yo, it's Ghostface.
Are you checking out The Beat with RB Melba?
The Beat, baby.
We about to light one up already.
You know why? Because he speak English.
The whole Wu-Tang is behind me. Yeah. Bong, bong, bong. And this is The Beat.
This also goes back to something that we've touched on earlier in our convo, which is what the platforms in the industry provide, right?
Yes.
And I'm not making excuses for people who do really well and make a lot because they're obviously in a better position than most.
Mm-hmm.
But you do have, and you know this, I know this, I think most people in the comments know this, you have an industry that has very narrow priorities and a lot of exploitation. So it's not always giving people who are, remember, 18, 20, 22 when they blow up, and giving them the experience and the runway, right, to then excel over the long term. And some of them are scarred to the point, or just haven't experienced the point, or feel, wait, I owe someone 3 more albums before I even get to do my own voice. And there's all sorts of reasons that people do back off, which some, not that you don't know, but sometimes people forget, like, there's that too. She blew up fast and big and then had a negative experience. I know she stepped off for a while. I did see her recently at about 3 years ago, Radio City, but it was like, that was after a long break. You know, I mean, Chappelle, everyone loves Chappelle. Very different experience, but like, he made his choice. He stepped away for a while. Now he's back, re-embraced. You could argue Dave Chappelle might be, I don't know, is he bigger than ever?
That show was kind of big, man. But I think it's all about reinvention, you know. So he reinvented himself. He moved away. He it's something about stopping when you're on top. Kind of like when Jordan, you know what I mean? Like Jordan left the game, but he came back. Chappelle left, he came back. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I always say you can't celebrate yesterday's touchdowns. What happened in the past is in the past, and they're moving forward and continue to create. I think that's really important. So
I hear that. I got a question.
Yes. Good evening. I wonder what is BDOS process to get ready for an interview?
Yeah. So that's what I said I would, and I like to keep my word if I can. Good questions. We would team up and take it out so people can see you. But what is your process, especially for an artist, say a musician or an artist that you're meeting and for the first time, so you don't know what the report's going to be?
Yeah. Someone said this is the guy from MTV, because if so, it explains everything. Hey, fuck you, man. My process is like, I just do a lot of research. Like, I do a ton of research. Like, I listen to as much as I can, whether it's music, I go look at old articles. What else? I just do a lot of research. I feel like I'm a detective, and I have this docket of stuff that I just have to look at before I talk to somebody. So that's how I prepare for an interview.
Do you think about how you might vibe with them, or you have a plan either way? Because you never know how it's going to go.
Yeah, it's like I look at doing an interview with somebody I don't know, almost like a first date, you know? So I have a set of questions, and depending how their mood is, if they're in the affable kind of spirit or they're kind of moody, you can kind of get a sense of how they're moving. So that's how I approach it when I talk to somebody.
All right, we got another little quick question in here. I'm not sure I understand it, but I'm going to throw it in. KCB Jordan, is there a limit to people reaching Beyonce, Jay-Z level?
Is there a limit? No, I think it's possible. I just think it takes time. And that's not something people appreciate in this day and age. You know, like you want to be Beyonce's level, you want to be Jay-Z, but you gotta look, these are people that have been in the business for 20 years. You know, it didn't happen overnight. So I think it's possible. Like, I'm interested to see who's gonna become the next big superstar, because of like post Jay-Z, we have Drake, right? And then we have Kendrick Lamar's or the J. Cole's. Now we're kind of entering a new generation where like Travis Scott is the new hot guy. Like, he's kind of entering that superstar realm. The question is, can he keep it there? Because you could be hot today and then you can kind of cool off a little bit down the line. So I'm interested to see who's going to be the next big, you know, superstar in hip hop.
Well, you bring him up. We haven't talked about him. Maybe this will be the last person we talk about as we wrap. And for everyone watching, this is Ari Melber from MSNBC with MTV's Brian B. Miller.
Yes.
And for those of you who know how much it means, you were in a comment section that Champagne Papi was recently in. So process that. But J. Cole.
J. Cole. Good friend.
where are we at with J. Cole? And you interviewed him right after I believe it was right after Dream World Gathering, right?
Yeah, Dreamville Gathering last year in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Pardon me, Dreamville in North Carolina. So he's someone that you know a lot about and that you've interviewed, and someone who really had this mystique for a while.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Casey B. Jordan dropping 3 laughing emojis. I forget the question answered. Shout out to Casey. So J. Cole as a lyricist, as a musician that obviously breaks through him and he goes platinum without the usual accoutrement. And then at what point does he have to, or has he transcended and just become that big top 5 level artist? Or is it still all about his fans being like, everyone needs to acknowledge and he's underestimated? Because at a certain point that fades. You can't play that forever.
Nah, J. Cole's a superstar. Like, I don't know when it happened, but it happened. You know, like it bugged me out when I went to the Dreamville Fest, and I saw those many people that came all across the world just to see him in North Carolina. I was like, whoa, I was taken back by that. But I didn't see his success. I know he was talented, but I didn't know it was going to be at this level where he's at, you know. And
was that the world, in your view, was that the music world fully discovering him, or did he step up? Because there's been a lot of talk about his early period, right, when he's on Rock Nation, but he's not being talk about what we were just discussing. He's not in a position where he's finding his own voice. He's being told, put out a certain radio record that ultimately was not even, ironically, the right radio strategy, right? Because him being himself and being whatever you want to call it, more conscious or layered, that sold more units than, you know, workout.
I hated workout.
And by the way, and people need to not hate on workout was, see, I'm not afraid, yo, you know, like, call me basic in the comments or anything you want. Workout was a totally acceptable mainstream radio song. No, it was like an old Pharrell track. It was all it was. It wasn't more than that, but it was fine.
Nah, workout was just J. Cole was better than workout. I know why he made that
true.
record.
That's true, but that doesn't mean workout was like everyone acts like it was like a shame. You know, what about Wet Dreams? Is Wet Dreams
is way better than workout. Workout is just with the Paul.
But it's not a perfectly conceived piece of poetry. It is where he was at that time.
Yeah, I think Wet Dreams is a more universal kind of record that everyone at least can relate to for the most part, unless you're like a 41-year-old version. But
if you put Wet Dreams in J. Cole's hands today and he was starting from scratch, would he make a way better track out of it?
After?
Right now, if it never had been released and he could edit, revise the whole thing, would it be a better track now?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think it's a good track. I don't think it's like a great record. I don't think it's like a whack record. I think it's cool. Like sometimes things just fall in between. Like it's a cool record. But that workout shit, I hate that record with a passion. Straight up now, I don't want to hear that shit, man.
But that, I think, goes to your what's the word? It goes to your sentimentality about what you want your artist to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's that's a thing that, again, to bring it back to Drake. Drake has all these different types of songs, and J. Cole can have all those songs. I feel like I observe more J. Cole fans being quite precious about where he has to be. Like, he has to be on some Mandela level. And it's like, but that's not his whole history, and that's fine. And I feel like he's really leaned into that. He seems to be, I've never met him, so I don't know what I don't know, but he seems to be like a very, very thoughtful, soulful, incredibly sophisticated person, and that's where he is now. But I don't fault that. Like, yeah, he's in a leather jacket doing workout. He used to have a Gucci sweater. I don't fault that. We can't start out where we end up. That would make no sense.
Right. But J. Cole is definitely he's one of the best. I don't think workout is indicative or representative of who he is as a rapper, but
respect. Sure.
He's one of the best of this generation, and if he's not in your top 10 right now, then you're just lying to yourself. Like, the guy is incredible. He's one of the best.
There you go.
He's dope, and I'm not just saying that because he's a friend of mine, but I'm just saying it as a fan. Like, the guy, he's a problem.
Well, was it not J. Cole who said, "There's no right or wrong, only the song"?
Yo, I love that you're fluent in rap. Like that's like that's like 'cause I do that too. I speak in rap lyrics to people, like like in parables, like so. Like I'm fluent in Jay-Z and Nas. That's like a bilingual language.
My friends in high school are like, because some of them, they love it, they love me, but they have had it. Some of them are like, I can't believe what you were doing when we were 14 is now like you do it all the time, and people act like it's okay. And because some of them in a loving way, but they're like, it wasn't okay, because they'd be like in class, and I'd be like, well, I mean, but Method Man did say, and we'd be like, enough. And then they're like, now you're doing this, and there's like more people are hearing it, but
right.
I mean, we all are who we are.
Miss Allen, why is Wale so slept on? I don't know. I don't know either. I really don't know. I used to hate Wale. But we're cool now. I think I've told the story before. I said on Drink Champs that me and Wale were about to fight about 2-3 years ago at Rick Ross's pool party. But we're cool now. And the reason why was because I was saying things in the press like why I thought Wale was not a great rapper. But, we since grown from that, and he's gotten way better as a rapper, man, as a lyricist and songwriter. So, shouts to Wale.
You were at Rick Ross's pool party. That was a side flex in the story.
Yeah, let me pick that name up. Strapped it.
And I know that Rick Ross built his own house because he said, I built it ground up, you bought it renovated.
Well, let me ask you a question. Letty asks Wale or Big Sean, who's more underappreciated? Who do you feel?
You answer first.
I think probably I feel like they're in the same boat, but I would say Big Sean, because I feel like Wale kind of boasts a little bit more about his achievements and accomplishments. But when you look at Big Sean's stats, it's like, oh shit, I forgot about this, I forgot about that. Like he's not as vocal as Wale is. So I think Big Sean.
Is Big Sean happy with where he is perceived as an artist now?
I gotta ask him that when I interview him. I think he seems to be in a good space. I know it sucks that right now that he has to put out a project out during this pandemic, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, it's funny because different than J. Cole, but both of them as they've grown up and evolved, they've definitely leaned more into saying, okay, I'm past some of that early industry stuff, and I'm the big fish, but also I'm going to make more of my own choices. And I just noticed that a little bit. I mean, I will tell you, so we had Big Sean on the beat once, and I like to ask artists about their lyrics, but as you know, depending on the artist, they have a different relationship with how much they want to get into it, and depending on the setting as well. And I said, oh, you have this line, an L can mean loss, but it also can mean lesson. What does that mean? And he goes, pretty much what I said.
I was about to say. I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
And I was like, all right, cool. All right, well, I got other questions too, so don't feel like this is starting a deeper, Well, look, I'm going to do this. I'm going to say, first of all, I'm really glad we could make this happen. So thank you for your time. Brian B. Miller, check him out. Second of all, we're all living through this weird period, but I want everyone who's watching this now, or we're going to post this so people may see it later, know when we get through this, and we will, as a community, as a country, some things will return to life. And I'm excited also, Brian, to get you in the studio, in person on the news show when that works out as well.
Yeah, man, I'm ready for that. I got my Sunday best ready. I'm going to put the suit on. You know what I mean? None of that Portobello shit. I'm going to get you some nice thing.
Well, you go on YouTube, you can see different styles. Like when Meek came through, he came through looking good with a nice, colorful shirt, bust down, Rolex. I was like, clearly you're dressed up for the day, not just for this interview, but it's very real. Joe Budden, who I mentioned earlier, he came through with a head-to-toe chinchilla coat that he wore throughout the interview. You saw that?
Yeah. I think I'm going to, like, when I'm coming to your show, it's going to feel like Easter. Like, I feel like I'm going to the Rock Nation brunch. So I got to make sure, you know what I mean, I'm coordinated. So
100%. And then,
I'm looking forward to it. With the haircut.
the haircuts, but we all need to get our haircuts when we can. When 50 Cent came through, he was fully dressed up. He looked like he could have been on the floor of the stock exchange.
Exactly.
The business, not even a flashy suit, like the very classy business suit. So people take it different directions. Everyone will be watching, and we'll see what you do. And again, thank you, Brian B. Miller. Thanks to everyone for watching.
Thank
Thanks
you.
to Drake for coming through in the comments.
Absolutely, Robbie. Anytime, homie.
All right, peace, everybody.
Peace.